San Diego County, 4,200 square miles, more than 3 million people. We all want to be healthy, active, and to feel safe. The county's Live Well San Diego initiative helps to do that, an ambitious 10-year plan for a healthy, safe, and thriving county.
One part of that Live Well San Diego initiative is our safety strategy called Living Safely. Like it sounds, being safe, protected from crime or abuse, yes, but also having neighborhoods where you can feel safe to live, work, and play. And being in a community that's resilient to disasters and emergencies.
You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
TV and movies are full of crime dramas, lots of bad guys, but what makes good fodder for the screen doesn't always translate into reality.
In fact, at least in San Diego County, violent and property crime rates hit a 30-year low in 2011. Overall, we have one of the lowest crime rates in the United States, and our strategies and programs have helped achieve that. But the county can't just sit around and do nothing, hoping the crime rate stays low. The Living Safely strategy shows how we'll build on the work we've done to prevent future crimes.
Expanding our crime prevention strategies to partner with the community, getting at the root causes of crime, asking, why is it happening? What are the risk factors? And how can we detect and respond to those risks earlier?
At the Health and Human Services Agency, families and individuals that come to us for support and services have oftentimes experienced trauma, such as domestic violence or child abuse. Training staff on the impacts of trauma and modifying our practices have been key elements in our approach to being better able to support people that we serve, have better outcomes, and live safer and healthier lives.
Also, looking at the big picture, the long-term approach. We work on developing strong families, strong schools.
Hey, deputy, yeah.
Well, we believe early intervention is the key. So we have programs that involve intervention, prevention, treatment. We start with kids when there's first a sign of delinquency, pre-delinquency, if you will.
If you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got.
There could be a kid that's having trouble in school, truancy issues, family communication issues. Those are the kids that we focus on initially.
I'm out of here. I'm gonna write you guys.
When a youth is released from juvenile hall, we use community-based interventions to work with them after they're released from custody, because that is their environment, and we want to make sure that we make that an environment that they can go back into and be successful.
All right, this is it. You ready? You ready for life?
We'll protect residents from crime using smart policing and keeping the closest eye on those who need to be watched. We'll expand our use of what we call SADDLE, short for Sheriff's Analysis-Driven Law Enforcement.
What we've been fortunate enough to do in this county is, through the cooperation and the support of the Board of Supervisors, spend a lot of money on information technology. And you combine that information technology with unparalleled cooperation between all levels of law enforcement in this county. And it's allowed us to have probably the best intelligence-led policing program anywhere in the country. A couple of years ago, we started a program of probation called Tracking Known Offenders that looked at known offenders in our community and shared information with our probation partners.
I'm going to go ahead and uncuff you. When I take your cuff off, you're going to put your hand on top of your head, you understand?
Now, because of realignment and the increased number of inmates being released in our community, we're going to take that program county-wide to all levels of law enforcement and all our partners in the community. This will allow us to keep our crime rates at record lows and ensure that San Diego County stays the safest urban county in the United States.
Law enforcement agencies multiply their power by working together on targeted patrols, like this one, checking on high-risk and gang probationers. We'll build on these successful partnerships and expand our use of data and evidence-based law enforcement. And above all, we take a balanced approach, sort of a carrot and stick approach, being tough with criminals, holding them accountable, but also addressing their needs, like substance abuse treatment or job training. We keep improving coordination between county services to better identify those at risk and working with those in custody on transitional services to help make sure they don't just return to jail or juvenile hall.
Any 100%?
We've had a seismic shift in the criminal justice system. Sacramento has shifted the responsibility from the state to the local government. And what we are seeing is it is a different type of offender, a more sophisticated offender.
Methamphetamine.
So as a result, it's important that we all work together, and the prosecution is the hub of all of these efforts to make sure that we hold these offenders accountable, as well as give them the services that they need, because we know when we do that, we can keep them clean, sober, and productive, and prevent further crimes from happening.
Those strategies working together help reduce crime, which is more than just numbers. It's reducing victims, protecting people and families, now and into the future. That is a huge ripple effect. Less crime means you feel a little safer, makes the neighborhood a little less scary, makes you want to go outside, get a little exercise, maybe walk a few blocks to the farmer's market, get to know the neighbors. See, when there's a connection, there's pride in the neighborhood, there's dignity. And when that happens, criminals are no longer welcome.
When our neighborhoods are safe, people thrive. When they're not, the human toll is real. Each year, San Diegans die from preventable causes like car accidents or drowning. Every year, traumatic experiences, child abuse, domestic violence leave lasting impacts that can destroy lives. So we encourage people to be actively involved in making their neighborhoods safe. Things like graffiti removal, senior volunteer patrols. Safe Neighborhoods is also about the community design, facilitating safe routes for kids walking and biking to school, well-maintained roads.
We do the engineering, which is we post the advanced school warning signs, the 25 mile per hour when children are present signage, along with pavement markings, and that is to inform motorists that they are approaching a school zone.
Responsible pet ownership plays a very crucial role in the public safety. If you take, for instance, this dog here, if this dog were to get out, as long as she was properly socialized with both people and animals, the chances of her hurting someone would be much less. You can tell she's just more interested in her toy, but that's because she's been very well trained around people and pets.
And also making homes and families safe, promoting defensible space around homes and pool safety. Even workplace safety that includes county employees.
In 2003, the county adopted the Work Safe, Stay Healthy, or WISH program. The program goal is to enhance the workplace safety of all county employees. The program has three major objectives: to have ongoing dialogue with employees on a regular basis regarding safe practices, to provide safety education to appropriate workers, and to mitigate against workplace hazards.
But sometimes it's Mother Nature throwing a curve that causes big problems in a region. From earthquakes to wildfires, tsunamis, even acts of terrorism. Whether the disaster is nature-made or man-made, the key is preparation. We'll keep working to make sure communities are resilient to disasters and emergencies.
We take a very inclusive approach to emergency management because we know that the resiliency of our community, our ability to recover after our next disaster, is really dependent upon that.
You learn through planning and through experience. We remain committed to having trained and capable first responders, a very strong team of emergency managers, residents who are engaged and prepared, three things that can make all the difference. We'll keep up with training, a lot of disaster drills, a lot of resources are set aside to learn how to get even better in responding to that disaster. We promote things like Citizen Corps, community emergency response teams, giving residents the edge on preparation, knowing what to do during a disaster and being self-sufficient for 3 days afterward. We engage the business community, making sure employers have emergency plans and working with them to make sure their employees are safe. We use technology, upgrading the regional communication system, strengthen emergency notification systems, even low-tech things like beefing up volunteer firefighting programs. The idea is to never let up, never rest on your laurels.
In any county-wide emergency, whether it's wildfires, earthquakes, blackouts, communication is always a critical part of a public safety response. With the support of this board, the Sheriff's Department is proud of the role we're playing in upgrading the regional communication system, so we'll be ready for that next emergency.
Moving forward, we know that we will have to consider that disasters affect different people differently. We have to think about how we reach people who are hard to reach and how we incorporate access and functional needs into all of our disaster planning.
Strategies like these will continue to make San Diego County the place to live, work, and play well into the future. A place where residents and visitors live safely every day.